Welcome back to the Coding Fanatic YouTube channel. I'm your host Richard, and here at Coding Fanatic, we are focused on helping you developers grow quickly. Whether it's focusing on your projects, learning new skills, or finding the best ways to interact with other people, these are the pillars that I focus on to grow as a developer, and now I'm passing my lessons on to you. That sounds like content you're interested in. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and join the mailing list at codingfanatic.com. Road to Pro is a series about the road to becoming a professional. I give you guys lessons that I've learned from working and interacting with other folks and show you how to apply it to becoming better as an Android developer. I've been a lot more active on social media the last year or so, and there are some things that I've noticed that are helpful and things that aren't so helpful. So I wanted to make a video kind of detailing some of the do's and don'ts of socializing online. Now, this doesn't just have to apply to your regular social media account. I know some people have multiple accounts and things like that. I'm talking specifically about your whatever public-facing account you use for networking with Android developers or networking with other developers. So this isn't for your fun account. You and your friends share memes, things like that. This is more like the one you're using to show the world who you are. So these are some things that I've noticed, and just want to give you guys a few tips on how to navigate. And also, if you're new to the whole developer scene on social media, let's say you've only used it for messing around and now you want to actually learn a bit more about Android development. Here are some tips on ways you can use social media effectively. The very first piece of advice I have is to find an online meetup or community of folks in your area of software development. Whatever area of Android development you're in, find people online who talk about those things and get to know them. Meeting other people who work in your area or even in your target area, let's say you're shooting for UI UX, finding a group of developers who work in that area will help you tremendously. You can learn about how they got where they did in their career and see some of the tools and trends that they're following and using to get where they are. Now think about it, these guys are getting paid for it. So if this is something you're interested in and you want to learn how to capitalize on this set of skills, then it's really helpful to find people who are already doing it and learn from them. Additionally, I'd say also find a group of developers who are outside of your area. It's helpful to get a wider range of input from other people, and it'll help you to think outside the box as well. I know that for me, I follow a few web developers on Twitter, and it gives me some thoughts when I look at their work and say, oh, okay, well, they're talking about like ways that they set up different websites and make them more interactive. And it makes me think, well, how could I apply that to Android development or to an Android app? How would that look in an Android application? So definitely you want to follow people who are in whatever your target niche area is, but also look for some people outside of it to expand your mind. So think inside the box and outside the box. The next thing I would suggest is think about an app that you use a lot on your phone. Something like, even for me, it's ColorNote. I use it for taking notes on just random things. It's my to-do list app, right? Everyone's got one of those. Find the developers. You can check the Google Play Store or wherever and find them, follow them online, follow them on social media. It's a good way to keep up with your favorite developers. You already know that they have one successful product, right? Because they're using it all the time. Well, see what the developers are up to. Maybe they have new updates coming out or just changes overall. And it'd be a really good way for you to keep up with these changes and learn how a company informs their user base of things that are coming down the pipeline. It might not seem like much. Not every company, it doesn't have to just be Nintendo or Microsoft or whoever. You can follow smaller developers as well. It could be small companies or even one-man shows. So, look for an app that you use a lot think something that you use every day, and just go on their Twitter or wherever and follow them there and see what they're talking about and any new things coming out. It's a great way to learn. The next tip is kind of similar to the last one, but it's to find a game developer and follow them online as well. If you don't play video games, then that's fine. You can go in the Play Store and look at the top 10 rated games and just pick one and follow the developers. Similar to the last one, you can see what they're coming out with and any updates and see how they talk to their user base. But more than anything, games give you a fun way to really invest in a technology or something, or into a technology. I remember when I first found this guy who was playing Doom using toasters at his desk. So he took the toasters and he was able to plug them into his computer. He opened them up and was able to hook them up to his computer, and he's banging on the different toasters to control the movement of the character. It's really loud and obnoxious, but it's a fun application, and it gives you some ideas. Man, I wonder what other kind of silly things you could do, or what fun projects you can make. I mean, it doesn't have to be a controller for Doom. Maybe you can use toasters to, I don't know, control some other thing on your computer. Maybe you can use them to type or something. I don't know. But I'm just spitballing here. But this is what following these fun projects and keeping up with games, this is what it does. It gets the gears turning. It makes you think well, what are some other things that we could do here? I remember when Temple Run came out for mobile devices, and it was a huge hit because you're moving the tablet or phone around, and it's fun. You're controlling a little guy trying to pick up items and make him jump, and you're flipping it and do all types of stuff. Oh, it's a lot of fun. And at the time, games like that didn't really exist. I think the first game that came out that was like that, there was this Kirby game that came out on the Game Boy Color when that's way years ago when I was a kid, and the cartridge itself had hardware in it that would sense movement, the same thing that our phones use now, and it would you could tilt the Game Boy to move Kirby around and stuff like that. So it's again, keep up with, find a game or something like that, and just learn a little bit more about some of the more fun things people are doing in Android. The next tip that I have is to head over to the XDA developers website, and you can follow them on social media as well, but definitely check that website regularly. It is just incredibly good resource for news and any information pertaining to mobile technology. So someone who is looking to get into Android development, or someone who's new at it, it's definitely the place to be. Even if you're still fairly new, you don't have to understand every little thing, but take the time to at least read a few articles a week or something like that, just to be part of the conversation around news news surrounding Android. And also, there are some pretty cool projects that I found on there as well. So kind of relating back to my last example about the toasters in Doom, one of my old Android phones, the Android Optimus V, at the time I didn't have the funds to upgrade to a new phone. I put a custom ROM on the phone, and I used that I learned so much about being able to, what you can do with a rooted phone. And one of the cool things about it was the phone was really slow, but by overclocking it, yes, it wears out the battery, but I could get more speed out of the phone. It was great. It was faster than I ever thought it could be. I didn't keep that phone for too much longer, but the point is that I learned about rooting the phone, getting the custom ROM, and all that other stuff through XDA developers. So definitely check that website out. Even if you're not looking to root phones and stuff like that, man, they've got a lot of great resources on there. So definitely go on their website, follow them on social media. It's an incredibly good resource to have. We're coming up on the last do that we have for this video. The last thing I will say you should do is, when you find good content, give the person some feedback. Give them a short comment or tell them something that you liked or something that you didn't like, whatever, but give some solid feedback. I find that because the information is so accessible now, it's easy to just like and retweet stuff, right? And if you look at some of the more popular posts on any platform, it usually trends upward where it goes. The replies get the least interaction, retweets and quotes get the second most, and then the likes get the most. And I'm guilty of I do the same, not guilty, but I do the same thing. I see a post, I'll skim over it real quick and say, oh okay, like, okay, like, and, it's very easy to do. But if you find something really good, in addition to that, also take the time to reply and give them like some solid feedback on what you liked and ways that they can improve for next time. I think that because it's so easy to get to now, right? You just pick up your phone and you can go on any social media platform or anything and just find a full 5 to 10 minute article like that, right? And you could skip that, scroll 15 times and look at your phone and find another one. It's like so easy to do. But I'm not really gonna tell you how much time you should be putting into how much time you should be spending reading articles and things like that or whatever. I mean, look, it's different for everyone, right? But ultimately, if you find something good, then let them know that you liked it and why. It's a good way to really help content creators, and just not even just content creators, people who write these articles in general. I know that dev.to, there are a lot of developers who in their spare time will make content and push it to that platform, and their articles get shared like crazy online. But it's good to just give a little, hey, I like this part, or hey, next time talk more about this, and things like that. Give some feedback. I wanted to first talk about some tips, where you can start, things that you should do to get started. If you're new to the whole using social media for a productive means thing, hey, you're not the only one out there. It took me a while too, but these are some of the things that I've learned over time that have given me a lot of value. I've met a lot of great people and made some great connections along the way, and the whole point is for you to build a network. It's network within a network, right? Twitter or Facebook or whatever is one network, and you're building one within that it comprises people who are like-minded and are working on similar things, or are in your field, so that you guys can all link up and share ideas together. That's the whole point, right? So definitely focus on some of these things that I put in this video. And if you like this video, then hey, comment, share, tell me what you like, what you didn't like, and that should about wrap it up for today. So thank you all again for tuning in. If you like content like this, subscribe, turn on notifications, join the mailing list at codingfanatic.com, and if anything, I will see you guys in the next one. So thank you again for tuning in, and I'm signing out. Peace.